Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Mikel Arteta says Arsenal have a player with incredible qualities who is nowhere near his best yet. Of course, to keep winning requires the best Arsenal players to keep doing the business, and that includes the strikers who will need to keep showing their quality in taking chances. One man who has come to the fore a bit in more recent weeks is a German striker, Kai Havertz. The big money signing from Chelsea has had his critics this season, but in recent weeks has scored some big goals to keep Arsenal well within the title picture. And speaking about Havertz in today's press conference, Mikel Arteta has lauded his forwards contribution. Speaking about Havertz, Arteta was insistent he is happy with his £65 million signing and claims the best could even be yet to come. He said, I'm very pleased. He's got incredible qualities to occupy different spaces in the attacking phase, to threaten the goal, to link up play, and when you have to be more direct as well, he will give you that layout. Not only that, but I also think his contribution defensively is outstanding for the team with his work rate and the effort he is putting in the high press, especially. He's got more to come, more games to come. He needs to improve the numbers, and I'm sure he will try to do it. Adding more when pressed on if Havertz had even shown his very best yet, Arteta insisted the German can do even more. He said, I don't think so at this age, and he is just started with us. It's his first season. He is building those relationships. He is moving in those positions as well, and he is that good. And with the intelligence that he has, he can be much better. Havertz has been playing as the main forward player in a lot of games recently. However, with Gabriel Jesus now back, it remains to be seen if Arteta will drop the German a touch deeper and go for it. This weekend's clash with Brighton is yet another crucial one, and given his big game nature, it wouldn't be a surprise to see Havertz produce again. Pundit says £45 million Arsenal player looks like he is completely lost his pace now. Speaking on the Handbrake Off Podcast, Adrian Clarke has been discussing some of Thomas Partey's recent performances for Arsenal. The Pundit says that Partey seems to have lost a lot of his athleticism as of late, claiming that it often looks like he is running carrying a rucksack on his back. He said, I want to ask you about Thomas Partey. He doesn't have the pace now. I saw it at the weekend when Kevin De Bruyne ran away from him, and there was another when whoever had the ball against Luton ran away from him. Now we have Rice in there. He does all of that, and he has the energy as well. It's a strange one because he is a really powerful runner. That's always been one of his strengths, the way he powers down the middle. I think the City game last season was an eye-opener, and it was the same at the weekend. That was really noticeable. When Declan lost it, he got back quickly and won it, but when Thomas lost it, it was like he had a rucksack on his back. I think he's lost a bit of athleticism. That's the sad truth. He's into his 30s and he's had injuries, so maybe that's understandable. Clarke isn't wrong. The £45 million man does look like he has slowed down, and that is understandable. The Ghanaian is no spring chicken these days, and after so long on the sidelines with injuries, that pace will have faded a little bit. Whether or not he can recover that pace once he gets back into the swing of things remains to be seen, but at the moment, he is not looking himself. Mikel Arteta says 22-year-old Arsenal player is going to explode in the last 8 games. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta is convinced that one of his young players is going to fly and be decisive in the final 8 games of the season. Arsenal were temporarily on top of the Premier League table after their win against Luton Town, but Liverpool took the place back last night. It looks like there will be a lot of movement every weekend as all three teams will play at different times. Manchester City will play first tomorrow as they take on Crystal Palace at lunchtime. Arsenal play in the final fixture of the day, while Liverpool take on Manchester United on Sunday. Mikel Arteta is only focused on his side's games at the moment. Brighton are an incredible side, and the Gunners will need to be at their best to get the win. Bukayo Saka is one of Arsenal's most important players. The Englishman missed the game against Luton due to injury, and it's still unclear if he will be fit to return for the game at the Amex tomorrow. Arteta was asked in his press conference today if he is worried about Saka's injury ahead of the final 8 games of the season. The Arsenal boss dismissed any concerns and predicted that Saka is going to fly in the coming games. He said, as per Football London, the following: I'm super positive. I think he is going to fly and be so decisive. I think he is strong. How much he wants it when you talk to him, and how excited he is about what's coming. He is getting better and better. It's normal to have little niggles and kicks. Fans of Arsenal's rivals love comparing Bukayo Saka with other players in the Premier League, but the Englishman is clearly a level above most others. The 22-year-old wasn't at his best in the first few months of this campaign. He was still scoring goals and providing assists, but you could see he wasn't his usual self since the turn of the year. However, Saka has been really good for Arsenal. The winger has scored 16 goals and provided 13 assists in 36 games so far this season. £30 million player who Steve Bruce called fantastic is keen to join Newcastle United this summer. Newcastle United are likely to be on the market for a goalkeeper this summer, even if Nick Pope is set to return to action before the end of the 23-24, and Eddie Howe is keen on a Premier League stopper. Arsenal and England man Aaron Ramsdale is currently second choice at the Emirates to David Raya, who is expected to sign on permanently from Brentford as he remains on loan. He is a target for Newcastle. A player Steve Bruce recently described as fantastic, Ramsdale could be on the move this summer, and a new report from Give Me Sport shares his stance on a move to Tennessee if Arsenal are willing to sell. Financial fair play could dictate Arsenal's position in the summer, with Edin Ketia seen as a possible casualty. The same could be said for Ramsdale, who is struggling to get into the side under Mikel Arteta. Not by his doing, Ramsdale played 78 times in his first 2 seasons, overtaking Bernd Leno in his first year. He conceded just 87 goals, keeping 29 clean sheets, but this season only 11 appearances made. From an Arsenal point of view, they will not want to lose Ramsdale. Having an England goalkeeper as second choice is great for the Gunners, but they need to be realistic for Ramsdale and in financial terms. Selling him to a side that are not a direct rival to the Gunners, but still a good enough side to tempt Ramsdale, makes sense. It would be harsh on Pop, but that is football. Ramsdale is a better option now, bought for £30 million. It's unclear if Newcastle would have to pay more than that to get him, given he has impressed for Arsenal, but spent a year watching Arsenal from the sidelines, but it's a move that suits all. Arsenal plotting big money move for Newcastle striker Alexander Isak. Arsenal are believed to be eyeing up a £100 million move for Newcastle striker Alexander Isak this summer. Mikel Arteta's side have issues in the centre-forward position and believe Isak could help solve those problems. Newcastle may have to sell one of their marquee players this summer due to problems with the Premier League profit and sustainability rules, which could provide Arsenal with a chance to swoop in for the Swedish international. The 24-year-old old, arrived at St James Park for £63 million from Spanish side Real Sociedad in the summer of 2022 and has established himself as a regular source of goals for Eddie Howe's side. Isaac has scored 19 goals in all competitions this season and is set to become the first Newcastle striker to score 20 goals in a season since Alan Shearer. The Sun reports that Arteta's side are readying a £100 million bid for the forward as they look to add a top-class striker to their ranks. The former Sociedad man has comfortably outscored Arsenal's striker options this season with 14 goals in the Premier League compared to 4 for Gabriel Jesus, 5 for Edin Ketaya, and 8 for Kai Havertz. A player of Isaac's quality is likely to have multiple suitors, and the report from The Sun adds that Arsenal could face competition from their North London rivals Tottenham, who are also interested. Arsenal want to sign £60 million player. Arsenal's upcoming transfer window this summer could well be another exciting one for fans. Aside from a forward, other positions could be filled by the Gunners, and according to a report from Sport, one of those positions being eyed is a quality fullback. While Arteta has the likes of Ben White and Zinchenko, as well as Jakub Kivior, doing well in the fullback positions, there has always been a suggestion that Arteta wants more in that area. Indeed, Arteta's signing of Zinchenko and White have been seen by many as being key in transforming the fortunes of the team. However, according to Sport, it's another Manchester City star, Joao Cancelo, who Arsenal remain keen on adding to their pack. Cancelo has been a long-term target for Mikel Arteta. His ability to come inside from fullback as he did so well at Man City for a number of years is of interest to the Spaniard, who has used Zinchenko in a similar way. Indeed, while at Man City, Cancelo impressed so much that Kyle Walker has even claimed he is the best he's ever seen in his position. According to the report from Sport, Arsenal do hold a big interest in Cancelo, but signing him could be more than difficult. The Portuguese star, who City paid £60 million back in 2019, is apparently enjoying his time in Barcelona and would love nothing more than to remain with the Spanish giants. Of course, whether or not Barcelona can afford to pay for Cancelo is another matter. The Spanish outfit have had a whole host of money problems in recent years and could be in for another tricky summer of navigating the system. So while Cancelo might fancy staying in Barcelona, it could come down to who pays more to City, and in the end, there might be someone like Arsenal willing and able to pay more than Barca. Fabrizio Romano says Mikel Arteta thinks £60 million midfielder could be perfect for Arsenal. Arsenal have been brilliant this season, but with the right additions this summer, they could go to another level. Arsenal have been linked with a few different midfield options over the past 12 months, and according to Fabrizio Romano, Mikel Arteta is really convinced by one player in particular. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Fabrizio Romano spoke about Martin Zubimendi's future and his links to Arsenal. According to Romano, Mikel Arteta is a massive fan of Zubimendi, going as far as to state that the Arsenal manager thinks the Spanish midfielder could be perfect. He said, "Let me clarify, Zubimendi is not desperate to leave the club, but in case of super big clubs arriving, he could leave the club. There is a release clause of £60 million. That is the value of the release clause. From what I'm hearing, Mikel Arteta is still a big fan of Zubimendi. He believes that Zubimendi is a very talented midfielder and could be perfect for any club in the world. In our view, this is a no-brainer of a signing. If the Arsenal manager thinks that Zubimendi is perfect, then that £60 million release clause should be triggered at the earliest possible opportunity. £60 million is a lot of money, but if Arteta rates Zubimendi that highly, he should be worth it. Arsenal do need to bolster that midfield this summer, and with Zubimendi available for a set fee, this deal should be done without much complication. Don't be shocked if Zubimendi ends up joining Arsenal in the near future." I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.